Well, if you've ever thought your phone is reading your mind, don't worry. There's actually no magic involved. Retailers have begun to figure out how to keep themselves in your thoughts. A little bit creepy, this one, but Uptin Saiidi joins us now with more. Uptin, is this a convenience? Is it a little bit creepy? We've been trying to figure this out. Tell us the details.
Well, it's a bit of both, I guess, and it depends on who you ask, Nancy. But what's allowing retailers to do now is track which customers, say, went to the fitting room but didn't quite make it to the cash register, and from there, send them a targeted ad on, say, Facebook or WeChat, encouraging them to go back to the store. Now, this technology isn't just up and coming, it's already tracking more than 1 billion smartphones. Now, it's important to note here that the technology is tracking users through the apps that have already chosen to give permission to track their location. The average smartphone in China has 7 apps that is being used that have given permission to track location. Cosmose includes clients not just L'Oreal, but also Tencent, Gucci, and Subway. And Nancy and Sri, Cosmos says it wants to expand into the U.S. later this year.
Just enough already. Enough. Stop tracking people. I mean, if you wanted to, buy the next big thing, then you go online. You know where to look. It's also transparent, right? I mean, there is something very, very insidious about companies tracking you. And that's one of the reasons why I'm still a kind of a holdout and I don't go online.
Can you opt in, though? I mean, is this something that you have a conscious choice to say, okay, this is all right, I do accept this, stop sending me? I mean, how much does the consumer have a choice in this one?
Well, depending on the phone that you have, you do have the choice to say, look, I've given apps, I've given ride hailing, I've given weather, permission to my location, but I really don't want it to sell my data and my information to third parties to be tracking me. But, the numbers speak for themselves, and more than 1 billion smartphones are already being tracked, and there's this sort of thing called privacy fatigue, right, where it's like, we know we're being tracked, we're not necessarily, we're clearly not happy about it, but there's a convenience trade-off, right? I mean, where were we without Google Maps? But it's been a product that's helped us to really get around, and so that's sort of the trade-off here with privacy versus convenience.
I wonder if there's a generational gap issue on this one. I mean, just for the record, I'm still technically a millennial, I believe, but I do want, because I spoke to some CMOs about this at a panel in Davos, and they seem to be telling me that the younger generations aren't that fussed. They actually look at this type of thing as more of a convenience, the fact that they can say, oh yeah, I forgot to purchase that, or this is so cool that the app knows what I want. Patrice seems skeptical.
It's called a shopping list. Come on, people.
Well, also, if you look at, about 15 years ago, cookies were very invasive, right? There was a lot of outrage on the cookies on our internet browsers that were tracking us. And now we all know, Nancy, that if you were to look up a flight from, say, Singapore to Paris today, for the next few days that's going to be targeting you. And we've just become accepting of this, right? So there's a little bit of the slippery slope argument. But then again, this is unprecedented because, I mean, it's offline tracking. So it's a whole new layer of tracking.
Yeah, you just try and ignore it, really. And I think that's one of the reasons why advertisers and companies are just getting more inventive with these, I suppose, the modern-day incarnation of the TV ad is the pop-up, etc. And it's almost an art form. When I look back on TV and ad breaks, there were some very, very inventive ads, and it got you hooked. You may not necessarily buy the stuff, but I think that's what's happening right now with online retailing. The tracking and that whole idea to try and capture the incremental consumer spend and the demographic is just getting more inventive, isn't it?
True.
Yeah, and of course retailers here love it, right? Because they can target people they can even actually look at this technology and say, okay, who came into my store and then went to my competitor's store, within that same day.
That's interesting.
So a lot of implications here.
Yeah, creepy or cool though? That's the question.